Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. Now I'm Marilyn and my channel's Making with Marilyn. I do all things crafty, but on today's video I'm going to show you the unboxing, setup, and first use of a tumbler press. Now a company by the name of Mocaru reached out to me maybe a week and a half ago or so, and they sent me a new tumbler press to try out. Now it came in this huge box, so we're going to get rid of that. And then inside the huge box was a slightly less huge box. I've already taken it out of here, and I'm going to start the video opening this box. Now, I'll link to this in the video description. If you're interested, check it out. It is on Amazon. There's currently a $30 coupon on Amazon for it. So if you're interested in tumbler pressing, keep watching the video. Now, before I turn the camera around though, if you haven't subscribed, go over there, hit that subscribe button, and then tap the bell, select the all notifications, and that way YouTube lets you know anytime I upload new content. Okay, so it's packaged well. I have some heat tape. Now before I ever use this, I'll try it out, because if you saw one of my old videos, I found some of the heat tape I was using was leaving yellow stains. And then here's a pair of gloves. Those look a lot like the ones I have already, and those are getting some melted stuff on them, so I'm glad to have a new pair. And they included some sublimation paper. That's nice. I need to go ahead and plug this in to the side of the press. Let me tilt this up. So the cup press is already in here. This is attached to it, and I just need to add this or plug this in to the press itself. So I'm probably going to have to lay it down to do that. Now there is a little groove in this, and that has to go into a certain place where you plug it in. Then there's this little collar on it, and it's right here. You push that up against the threads, and you go ahead and screw it in, and that holds it tight. Then I have a cord here, and the place where it plugs in to the press is right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and open that up so I can turn it on and go ahead and get it heated up. So there's a little toggle switch over on the right side right here, so I just push that to turn it on. And then I'm just going to tilt this up so you can see it. Now when it first came on there were a bunch of numbers. Let me see if it'll do it again. Okay, so a bunch of just 8s. Now it's gone to where it's going to heat up to 400, and I'm not sure what the time will be. I'm going to let that preheat and then I'll figure that out. All right, it's not heated up all the way yet, but I have a tumbler here. I just want to see if I have it at about the right pressure. All right, let's see if that's a good pressure. Okay, so that seems to be good. I'm going to try just a little bit more pressure. And the gap that there is, once this is all the way closed, is maybe about 1/3 of an inch. Okay, so the book tells you that you should heat your tumblers, if they're stainless steel, from 180 to 185 degrees Celsius. And the tumbler press goes from 0 to 250 Celsius, which is also 0 to 482 Fahrenheit. So right now it's set on Celsius. I can't really figure out how to change that to Fahrenheit, or if I even can change it. But I know I'm between the 180 and the 185 Celsius. So I think I'm good there. And it was funny because it stopped at the 180 area and I thought something was wrong or it was just taking an extra long time to heat up. And it just turns out it was using Celsius instead of Fahrenheit. Now this recommends for a full image sublimation that you go 90 seconds and then you rotate it 180 degrees and do it 30 more seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and follow their instructions and we'll see what happens. With the press up to the right temperature, it's time for me to change 50 seconds to 90 seconds. So I think 50 must have been the default out of the factory. So to do that, I'm going to click on this set button. When I click it once, it goes to my temperature. My temperature's fine, so I don't need to do anything with it. So I'll click set again. And then my time flashes and I move it up to 90 seconds. And then to get the tumbler press to accept my new settings, I just have to press the set button, hold it down until the numbers stop flashing. So here's the tumbler that I'm going to use. I've prepped it with some alcohol and then I dried it off with a paper towel. And then here's the image that I'm going to use. Now I got the basic design of this off of Creative Fabrica, but I modified it just a bit. I replaced some wording that was at the bottom of this with the word lemonade. Now for this tumbler, I use the same paper that I've used before on other tumblers. I wanted to be able to compare apples to apples. I did get some paper with the press, but I'm going to stick with this paper for now. Then I'm also going to use a butcher paper cradle on the tumbler to put it down into the press. And then I'm going to put the seam facing the back. Now I'm sitting behind the press, so the seam's going to be facing me. So I'll go ahead and put it inside. And then kind of holding it up with the paper cradle, I'll go ahead and close the press. Now I'm going to press this for 90 seconds, then I'll open it and rotate it. Now I'm rotating it approximately 180 degrees, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this, press it for 30 more seconds. Now I could change my timer, but I'm just going to stop the press or open the press when the time gets down to 60. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open this press, and then I'll just put the tumbler over here on this Cricut pad. I'll let it cool down just for a little bit, and then I'm going to move this out of the way. So I was being very indecisive on where to peel from. Now, if you use a weeding tool like I have here, be very, very careful not to scratch your tumbler. I scratched one for the first time the other day and I was so angry with myself. I was being just a little bit careless. Now, even though these gloves are heat resistant, they're not heat proof. So if you hold on to this tumbler very long, they're still going to get pretty hot. Now let's see what we have. It's really gorgeous. So I am extremely happy with how vibrant this turned out. Now let's look at this really closely. It looks good. Now one thing you might think is, where's the color here? So I looked back at the sheet, and right here where this white gap is, That's where this is. So you can barely see the pink at the top. So there is a lot of white built into the top of this design. And that kind of threw me off because I thought it didn't transfer well. But it's just the design. There's the bottom. Again, a lot of white right there. But look how vibrant those colors are. This is a beautiful design. And I love how the cup turned out. So time will tell if this press is going to last for a long time, but for now, I really like it. It performs the way it should. It works well. It's easy to operate. And with results like this, I think it's a keeper. Now, thanks so much for joining me, and until my next video, bye-bye.